Hilary, thank you for joining us in the studio today.
Thanks, Steve. I'm very happy to be here.
Now, can you tell us all about your photography business?
My photography business started about 10 years ago, and I think it was about 10 years ago, but it's something that I've always been interested in, and I've had a camera since I was, yo-high. So it's something that I just sort of clicked into in my 30s. I was having a change of life, and I thought, I wouldn't mind going back to Canberra. I was living in Sydney at the time, and starting a photography business, and I'm so glad I did because I absolutely love it.
Now that the business is well established, do you find that there are still challenges you have to face, or in particular, do you find being a woman in business that there are more challenges to face?
I think being a woman in business, in the type of business that I'm in, is actually an advantage. I don't think it's a challenge at all. I think that I photograph kids, families, mums, dads, weddings, whatever. I get in with the flow. So I just love sort of the emotion of actually capturing something like that. So I think it's an advantage. The only disadvantage, I guess, would be possibly struggling with blending the different roles that I have as a woman, as a mother, as a single parent, as a businesswoman, as a photographer. That's something that at times I struggle with quite a lot.
Your photography business is primarily about portraiture, and you photograph a broad range of subjects. Is this the secret to the success, as it's so people-orientated?
Do you know, when I started photography, I wanted to do landscape photography, and I look at landscape photography now, and I can appreciate the skill it takes to capture a beautiful landscape when the light's right. But I tell you what, photographing people and seeing an expression, and it can be just a fleeting expression, and capturing that moment is just fantastic. And I aim to I think I can relate to kids on a certain level when I'm photographing them. I'm on the ground, I'm with them, I can be as silly as them. But just to get that right moment so that, the parents will love it.
What exciting projects do you have on at the moment?
I've got lots of projects that I always do. One of my blogs is just a personal blog, and it just shows little snippets of my life and different projects that I've got going. One of them at the moment is called Australian Contemporary Family Life, and it's an Australia-wide project, and it's just capturing families in my area. I'm in Queanbeyan at the moment, and so showing the different types of families that live under one roof. It's not just mum, dad and two kids. There's blended families, there's single parent families, there's gay families, there's all sorts, and I just it's been a really interesting project.
That's very broad, I imagine.
Very broad and really interesting. Having lived in Canberra for most of my life, it's interesting now living in Queanbeyan. It's quite different, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and the sense of community there has been really great.
What advice would you give to women who are thinking of starting their own business?
I think for women starting a business, depending on where they are in their lives, it doesn't really matter. You just got to set your life goals and use the sort of inchworm technique to get there, basically. Set the life goals and then try and run the business so that it's aiming towards that. And, my main thing at the moment is work-life balance, is having enough time with Henry and the dog and having enough time for me as well. So that's my goal at the moment. And I think with anyone that's starting up in business, it's going to be, it'll ramp up and then you'll be absolutely frantically busy, and that's fantastic for a while, but after several years it becomes a bit tiring. So you just have to reassess where you're going.
And where can we find out more information on you and your photography?
I've got a website, it's called hwp.com.au, and on that website there's just normal stuff that you can have a look at, lots of photos of gorgeous people, and then I've got my 3 blogs, and just to so that you can see recent photography that I've done. I've got a blog that deals with intimate portraits of women without Photoshop, and just posed beautifully and lit gorgeously, and also my personal blog as well. So if you just go to hwp.com.au, you'll find me.
Hilary, it's been great having you in the studio again. All the best. Look forward to catching up with you again.
Thank you.